What we've seen in Europe over the past 5 years, and it's a process which is gathering momentum, is the de-alignment of the working class, the European, the white working class, from socialist politics and socialist parties. I mean, we saw it in the French presidential election. The Socialist Party just disappeared. I mean, Macron created the En Marche movement as a new sort of globalist force. But the Socialist Party and the Communist Party in France, which had been very strong since the Second World War, simply disappeared, drained away. We saw it in the Dutch elections in 2017, the same process. A Labour Party which had won up to 40% of the vote in the previous 2 decades collapsed to just 7% of the vote. Something had happened. The white working class no longer regards the Labour parties and the Socialist parties of Europe as representing their interests. And that's just a recognition of reality, because the Labour parties have switched their ideology. Instead of being parties which promote the national working class, they've become parties which promote mass immigration, the interest of minorities, especially ethnic minorities, the whole feminist agenda, the whole agenda of what's called emancipatory politics, which is sort of gay liberation and women's liberation and abortion on demand and contraception for everyone. The politics I call of sterility, of killing off our next generation. They've embraced all these politics, these dubious politics, which are not essentially left-wing. To me, they're nihilistic. They're about the death of the nation state. Now, the white working class, the traditional working classes in European societies, began to realise that this was about their death. It was about taking away their privileges, their status and their rights. And so they began to move away from the socialist parties en masse. And we've seen also the collapse of the SPD in Germany. The SPD was in control of Germany. They were the government of, the party of government. And yet now they're lucky to finish third in state elections in Germany. They've been pushed aside. The Greens have overtaken them, and the Alternative for Deutschland is winning a significant section of the white working class, especially in eastern Germany and southern Germany. And of course, in Italy, the Socialist Party has just, again, gone down the plug hole. And it's Salvini and it's the Nationalist Party, the Nationalist Populists, and the Five Star Movement have just sucked up the vote of the working class. And the liberal middle classes, they're a bit lost, because with the collapse of the socialist parties, they're looking for a home. They're tending towards the more radical leftist parties like the Greens, who are much more unstable and have got very shallow roots and really are not parties of government. So they're a bit lost there. And then, of course, we come to the likes of Scandinavia. Again, the socialist social democrats. They've lost power in Denmark. They've just about clung on through a much wider coalition in Sweden. So everywhere they're under threat, the socialist and social democratic parties. And it's happening in Britain now. Because the traditional British working class have recognised that Jeremy Corbyn does not care about them. Jeremy Corbyn will promote unrestricted mass immigration. Jeremy Corbyn has made the promotion and the protection of Islam a key aspect of the Labour Party. And the Labour Party, which was founded really by the Methodist movement, many members of the Methodist Church created the Labour Party as a vehicle for social justice, has now shed any sort of Christian identity and has become a sort of a secular Marxist party with a strong Islamic presence, which they always defer to. It's become a dhimmi party, and it's become more and more reliant on the ethnic minorities for their votes and for their membership. And of course, it's allied with the whole feminist movement. It's against the traditional family. It promotes the gay liberation agenda, and it seeks to undermine the traditional role of men in the family and the traditional role for heterosexuals in society. And it's taken a long time for the coin to drop because they've managed to buy off the white working class through, very generous welfare system and hold on to their allegiance in the past. But that welfare state has now been colonized by the forces of Islam and immigration from other parts of the third world. We find that immigrants can simply arrive in Britain and get free housing, first primary access to council housing and social housing. Immigrants can get bumper payouts from the welfare state. The more children they have, the more money they get. Everything is available for them: free education, free healthcare, free legal advice. They are the privileged people in our society because the Labour Party has made it so. But this has been involved in disprivileging of the white working class. And the white working class realise this and are becoming very wary of what's happening. And they're looking for another political vehicle on which to mobilise around. We need in Britain a nationalist populist party which speaks for the broad masses of the British society, especially traditional British society, because they don't have a home at the moment. Now, UKIP could be that vehicle, but it's struggling to sort of develop a link, a sort of a populist edge which will embrace the working class. It's too libertarian. It's too linked towards ideas of liberalism. And then, of course, you've got the For Britain movement, which has got great potential to connect with the white working class in this country. And it doesn't have to be defined racially. I mean, we had the West Indians that came in, the Windrush generation, which is in many ways assimilated into British society very successfully now. And so they're part of this national group. And we're being sort of defined against the new waves of immigration that have come from the Middle East, from the Indian subcontinent, and from sort of East Africa, which are not part of our traditional sort of ethnic makeup and don't wish to assimilate into our society and present themselves as an alternative culture and a force for change in our society in their interests, not in our interests. We regard this in many ways as a challenge to us. So we have to rise to that challenge. And we're going to witness in Britain the death of the Labour Party as a force for representing the British people. And we're seeing this with it's actually split now. More moderate Labour MPs have broken off from Corbyn and his agenda, because you cannot go along with this agenda for the transformation of Britain into something that we don't want. We don't want to be an Islamic republic in Britain. We don't want to see the force of Islam become stronger and stronger and take over more of our national life. We'd like that process to be stopped or at least slowed. And the Labour Party have no interest in that. They're promoting it at every turn. So this is the challenge in the future for the British people. We need a new political vehicle to stop this transformation of Britain, to stop immigration and to reverse the mass inflow of third world people into our country. Thank you. Thank you for watching this video. We're putting out messages as often as we can now to stir up the people of this nation and the people of the West to fight back on behalf of their nations, to have confidence that we can win. We're trying to buy new equipment. We want to buy a small camera so that we can film outside. And we want to buy some radio mics so we can get good sound quality outside. So we're looking for funds really to promote this work that we're doing. So if you support us and you want to invest in this battle to save our nation, there's a PayPal link in the description. If you can, please make a donation. Make sure you subscribe to our channel. Ring the bell as well so you get a notification of any future videos we make. We're turning out 2, 3, 4 videos a week now, and we're going to keep on this battle until we win. Thank you.